Daniel Spellbound is back on Netflix for its second season. Let's see if this new season is worth your time. Hey everybody, my name is Justin here. I try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services. If you guys are like me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and click that notification for more up and coming content. Daniel and his friends embark on yet another hunt, this time for a magical scepter and an ancient coffer, the contents of which threaten the entire world. So I enjoyed the first season of Daniel Spellbound on Netflix. The second season is 10 episodes long and introduces new characters, but we still have Daniel and Hoagie going on adventures to find magical artifacts. We have new characters like Shaq, who's asking for Daniel's help in finding her lost brother, and a famous trekker named Jace, who Daniel looks up to and views him as a hero. Throughout the 10 episodes, we explore a lot of Daniel and Hoagie and also the new relationships of the new characters and how they are integrated into the series. One problem I had with season 1 is the amount of detours the episodes took, and there was a lot of moments that seemed like it was focusing on minor side stories that really didn't amount to much. But here, with these 10 episodes and getting straight to the story and not having to have a lot of world building and really developing these characters, because we got that in the first season, we're able to have a storyline that flows nicely throughout. So the pacing is pretty quick, and there's not many moments that have these detours and trying to introduce minor side characters and minor side stories that don't amount to much. I was impressed with how the 10 episodes managed to fill pretty quick. Shaq is trying to look for her brother Jace and needs Daniel's help. There are some emotional moments in the beginning of the series when we look at Shaq and she's trying to find her brother Jace and all of the memories she has with her brother, and she hasn't seen him in quite some time, but that really lets up in the middle half of this series. There's less emotional beats to it, and we're not able to sympathize with these characters too much with that lack of development coming from some of the characters in here. I thought it would continue to grow throughout season 2, especially looking at the brother and sister relationship and them bonding throughout, but instead it takes it in a different story, and we're not able to focus solely on these characters and the relationships and the development for them. And that's unfortunate because the characters are likable. I really like Daniel and Hoagie and their relationship. They seem to just be kind of thrown into the mix with this season, since they are trying to find Jace, and then we have that relationship between brother and sister that ultimately feels a bit hollow at times. It's really solid in the beginning because you have all the moments of her wanting to find her brother and that drive, but when we get Jace and later on in the series we have some moments for him, there's that lack of emotional moments for these characters. I'm impressed with also how this series tries to add in some realistic moments. Yes, it is a kids show and it is trying to have a lot of fun, but there are moments sprinkled in that try to give it a realistic tone despite trying to find magical artifacts and different creatures thrown throughout. In the first episode, Daniel is starving. He has no money and he's very hungry. And moments like that are trying to add a realistic tone. And there's a moment at the end as well with Shaq and what happens to her brother and how she's handling all of that. So there are a few moments in here where the series tries to be a little more mature and realistic compared to most of the other series when it's just like a fun, magical series. There are moments that are trying to have some morals and some lessons thrown throughout. There's also less world building in here. I do like the creatures that are introduced, but there seem to be a lot more in that first season. The creatures that Daniel encounters within that first season, this time around this season is really just focused on our 4 main characters, them growing and some changes for these characters throughout, which makes less world building in here and less creatures and different characters involved. And I want to see more of this world because there are a lot of weird creatures and twists and turns along the way that could make it for some really exciting moments, but it's less in here. And also the conflict between characters like Jace and Daniel seems to be done before. It's a bit repetitive and it's not really developing a deep story for these characters throughout. But overall, Daniel Spellbound Season 2 is still a lot of fun. I like the characters and I like the world within here. I just wish it would have went deeper into that world building and offering new creatures that were a lot of fun. And I felt like there was less of an emotional beat to it, despite having a strong setup and some realistic tones throughout, and an ending that was emotional for the characters. But that large section in the middle is where it just really falls off and is being a bit repetitive and hollow. But if you enjoyed Daniel Spellbound Season 1, I think you'll enjoy Season 2. I do enjoy that first season just a little more for the world building and the emotional moments within it. So before I give you my score for Daniel Spellbound Season 2 on Netflix, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie-related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button and get it all in one spot. I'm going to go ahead and give Daniel Spellbound Season 2 on Netflix a B-. Thank you guys for watching my review for Daniel Spellbound Season 2 on Netflix. Have you guys seen it by chance? What'd you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up-and-coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.